Hi.
Hello again.
Hi.
Thank you for this wonderful offering of Beethoven. This was incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming online with us. And um,
I appreciate so much what you're doing and your crew also that hasn't been acknowledged, but I know how they're great and they work so hard. This is wonderful. It's great to see old friends and new people. I'm one of the old ones, you know. With Jane Cook, we were talking about. She was talking about how when we met Leon, he was wearing a ponytail. It's funny the day you know,
during the ponytail times.
yes, and motorcycle and all that. I came
Oh,
from Uruguay when I was 18, and um, first time in the United States, I stayed a few days in New York before I came to Baltimore, and first thing I did was buy his recordings. And you know, I totally freaked out because I did not expect, I didn't know about Leon Fleischer. I mean, I knew his name, but actually it was Evelyn Swarthout Hayes, a wonderful pianist that used to teach at American University, that came to judge a competition in Uruguay. And she heard me play and she asked me for a recording and she gave it to Leon, and that's how it worked out. So I listened to his recordings, and you know, I literally got sick. I, I was throwing up for like about a year. I mean, I got this really crazy nervous thing because I just felt like I didn't belong. I thought every student of his would be better than me, and I was a freshman, and in my group, that was the first year that he started teaching in groups, and my lesson mates were Julie Bees and Peter Amstutz, who were master students, and so I was completely in awe and nervous. I just felt as nervous as when I used to play for Leon Fleischer. it's,
Yes, isn't it the feeling?
you know
I've
that
played.
feeling, yeah.
Oh, I know that feeling. I've played for tribute for my teacher, and that was probably one of the most nervous performances ever in my life. I
Yeah,
came to the piano to start playing, and I saw my hands trembling,
right,
and that didn't happen to me in years.
right. Much easier to play in public for an audience you don't know. Yeah, and here
Yes.
we have a lot of pianists listening, so it's a tough crowd. But
We have a lot of people listening who love and appreciate. And my feeling is this offering of tremendous musicians who Leon Fleischer nurtured um, cannot be judged. This is an
yeah,
offering from the pure heart.
right. You know, let me finish the story. So I heard the recordings. I thought, wow, what an amazing pianist. And when I went to meet, I met him at the Hayes in Washington before I started studying with him. And somehow I was expecting I don't know, a very serious looking guy with a suit or something like that. That day he was wearing a purple pants, purple shirt, and a red jacket, and with a ponytail. And he was sitting on the floor, and I thought, no, this couldn't be it. You know, I was like, it was totally not the image I had made in my mind from looking at the pictures in the CDs. You know. Anyway, you know, I'm not going to talk about his teaching because everybody else has been so eloquent describing what he gave us. And I just want to tell one funny story about, because Benny Kim, I think, was telling the story yesterday about when he turned his pages. One time, Leon was conducting the Nutcracker, 11 performances of the Nutcracker with the Baltimore Ballet at the Lyric Opera House. And he asked me if I would turn his pages. I was delighted. So on the last performance, in the middle of it, I mean, I get up to turn his page, and he starts telling me. He says, "I have to go to the bathroom. I give you the baton. You continue." and I almost died. I freaked out. I couldn't. I was like, "Is he serious?" But he was. That was his kind of humor. He was joking, obviously. Um, but I have many stories like that. I remember him not just as a teacher, but such a wonderful person, so warm, so like everybody has said, so humble. You hear sometimes about these famous teachers that throw the books around and scream at the students and all of that. I never experienced anything like that. Never saw him. Sometimes when we didn't play well, or somebody else, whatever, he was always respectful, which was really, really, I appreciated that very much. And the last lesson, this is the last thing I'm going to say. When I had my last lesson with him was after I had finished studying that. A few months later, I was in it used to be the University of Maryland International Piano Competition. The William Capell became later. And I called him. I asked him if I could play for him something, and so we arranged right after this. He said, "Well, let's see if you make it past the first round or whatever." So I passed to the finals, and I called him up, and I went that day. We still had 2 days before the finals, and it surprised me very much that he didn't want to hear me. He says, "You've played this concerto many times, you know it." He says, "Let's just talk. Let's talk." So we spent the whole hour talking. He told me about the conductor. It was going to be with the Baltimore Symphony and Sergio Commissiona, whom he knew very well. He recorded with him. And so he told me about some of his different ways of conducting, because Sergio was very difficult to understand. And so by giving me all those tips, I think it helped a lot. I ended up winning that competition, and I felt so good. He gave me so much confidence from not hearing me and not saying anything that, in other words, I felt like he trusted me. And so that was a great thing. Over the years, I've talked to him on the phone. I saw him here in Charleston when he came to play, and I keep him very close to my heart, and I just want to send my regards to his family and to all his students. Everybody has played so beautifully, and this has been a great, great thing. Anna, I appreciate it so much. Thank you.